Yes, greetings once again, and you're back to the Roots Doctor, and this is Holistic Healing, and you're listening to Omega Radio, www.omegafmradio.co.uk, or you can also get us on 104.1 on TuneIn Radio on the FM dial. So, you know, if you're listening, you're definitely in the right place. Yes, Roots Doctor coming forward again, and if you've been listening before the news and ad break, you'd have heard a question put to me by the eminent Dr. Sandra Richards, yeah, and I think it's a very relevant question, really, because you know we go about owning all these diseases, and we don't really kind of see how they impact on us as a community, and what are certain factors that are related to, you know, us actually having to manage these diseases. Yes, my sister, you there?
Yes, give thanks for the opportunity to be in conversation. I welcome any opportunity to learn about how to stay well and to get better, because the truth of the matter is we've been assaulted and continue to be assaulted by a system that doesn't care for us, and we can't look for anyone else to come and fix it or rescue us, because ain't nobody coming.
That's true.
So even though I was raised in an Anglican situation, a Church of England situation, I don't think I should sit down and wait for anybody to come. You know, somebody's coming, apparently soon coming. He's soon coming king.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I think we have to join with the Most High to keep ourselves well.
I agree.
We should not abandon our responsibility. So, you know, when you were speaking about the herbs, and you referred to a situation with your daughter, and you know, the whole condition of asthma, it got me to thinking about, you know, the ways in which we separate ourselves, and we separate these conditions, so we don't link this to causing that.
Right.
Our environment is causing a degree of illness. How we're being treated is being causing a degree of illness. So I was captivated by what you were saying, and started thinking about, you know, the issues around reparations, and the issues about, you know, rites of passage, and what we're doing to help ourselves recover from what is happening. And that's why I was asking and trying to link.
We're in reparations mode, aren't we? That's what we're doing.
We should always be, because if somebody does something to you, they're not supposed to get to. I'm not really in the, you know, turn the other cheek thing. I'm not. I think that's a really bad doctrine, personally. And actually, you know, this is a more controversial thing. I have an issue with some of the thing around forgiveness. I can't keep forgiving someone who keeps attacking me constantly, but that's another story.
And the person not asked for forgiveness.
You know what I'm saying? They're not sorry.
Exactly.
If they were sorry, they would stop it.
Exactly, but they keep doing it.
And then introduce these notions of things like Windrush, the Windrush generation. I mean, we've been called all kinds. I mean, we've been orange, we've been blue, we've been black.
I know.
You know, colored, you West Indian. Now we Windrush. So let me not get too distracted. Although I want to join things together, I think it's important to stay focused. So you were talking about asthma and medical conditions, and I wanted to link that conversation to our state of being, and in particular I'm interested in issues of spirituality, but I'm also interested in if asthma as a physical condition has a sluggish and gasping for air, is there a link between these? If our physical and non-physical being is on a spectrum, is there a relationship between these conditions and the foods we eat and what's happening to our mental well-being, our spiritual well-being, our economic state, our all of that kind of stuff? So that's, I guess, what I'm asking about. It's a big question.
Very big, and I'm not sure we can answer.
I believe in you.
I'll give you the best I can in the time available. A lot of these things, because you know our approach to, when I say our, I mean the African approach. One of the things that we've not done as a people, we have done it, but it's just that we don't write it down in the way that other communities do. This is defining pathology. You know, we've not and what I think the great Dr. Sebi has done in his I don't know what to call it, because Dr. Sebi was just something else, you know. I love him and can't take a lot of what he said all at the same time. But one of the things I think that he did actually achieve, I think he actually defined African pathology, and that's not been done before. The importance of, you know, this holisticness of looking at ourselves as a whole being. And he talked about the African mineral balance, this whole thing of the body being in homeostasis. You must be in balance, you know, and a mind, body, and spirit approach. And I think that he did do that. He did do that. And so when we have an ailment, is to see how it affects us on all three levels. Because if you're not healthy in mind, body, and spirit, you're not really healthy. And whenever you get any kind of disease, there is a trauma that usually accompanies that particular disease. But a lot of the times, obviously, when someone comes to you, if they're hurting, if there's pain, if they're bleeding, or if there's inflammation, then obviously you can't be addressing the kind of, you know, the cause of it. You have to be addressing, you know, the pain, the hurt. You have to deal with the pain first of all. So in a sense, you're dealing with the ailment on the physical. But what most people do is that once that's been addressed, they then don't go back to the trauma and how the thing entered them in the first place. So many times they go, and guess what? The ailment comes back again because they've not dealt with, how can I put this? There's an energy, you know, there's an energy, and you have to reprogram that energy spiritually in order to rid yourself.
Okay, now you have my full attention. Go ahead.
You see what I'm saying? So but most people don't do that. They don't go back to reprogramming the energy. Once they've gotten rid of the physical manifestation, the symptoms of what's actually happened to them, then they just think, I'm all right, I'm fine. But yeah, many times it will come back again. So yeah, I don't know, does that help?
It helps a lot. It helps a lot because what I'm hearing is there's something around our liberty, our lifestyle, and you know, you're saying energy. Well, for me, everything's energy.
Of course.
And then, of course, we vibrate.
Of course.
And if you have things in your system, which you spoke about earlier, that make us sluggish,
sure,
then our vibration is going to be sluggish.
Absolutely.
So when your vibration is sluggish, that means you've got to be dragging everything all over the place. Your thinking is sluggish.
Absolutely.
Your behavior is sluggish. Your vibration, all how you look, must be sluggish. No, this is serious. This is really serious.
It's very true.
And that's why we have those principles that we really must pay attention to. Because the fear of the condition when we find ourselves diagnosed with something, or you know, or we've not been given a name for this thing, and the person who's giving us the name looks like us, because that's another thing. You know, if the person who's giving us the name, if the doctor looks like us, there's a part of us that still needs recovery and healing.
Sure.
Could you really know what's wrong with me? Because are you an African? I mean, how could you possibly know? Not realizing that actually the vibration is well understood and better understood by us.
Absolutely.
Oftentimes.
Absolutely.
So that's why I was asking about, you know, linking the recognized condition like asthma on that spectrum from the physical symptom, as you say, to the spiritual aspect and to the liberty.
Yes.
Because everything will be affected if you can't breathe properly, if you can't think properly.
Yes,
if you have scarring on your lungs.
Absolutely.
Can't you get scarring on your mind?
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I mean, some of us are emotionally scarred.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
We must be spiritually
scarred. And it comes out in certain kind of ways. And I mean, I think that's the problem, is that it's easier for us to understand physicality and the physical reaction to certain things. We're not very good when it comes to the mental and the spiritual. And that's really what the problem is. You know, you know, we can see physical waste. We can't see mental and spiritual waste. and there's a lot of mental and spiritual waste within us which we really need to rid ourselves of. But because we don't see it,
Right.
you know, we can't.
But you know, we see the consequence of it.
Precisely.
Our behavior,
Precisely.
our relationship, what we
Precisely.
accept,
Precisely.
how strong we
Yeah.
feel to argue
Yeah.
for our own
Yeah.
rights. All of this is
Preci-
affected by our state of being.
and what you see, what we do, we dealt with the symptoms, but we haven't gone to the cause.
That's right.
And many times the cause is spiritual.
Right.
And it is mental.
And that's why
Yeah.
I really am captivated when you speak, in the way you speak about the herbs and the authentic ways of addressing any imbalances, because those herbs are live.
Of course.
We are live.
Absolutely.
The vibrations then
Absolutely.
can connect.
Yes.
And so we get the healing on lots of different levels, not
Absolutely.
just in terms of
Absolutely.
getting rid of the symptoms, but the cause at a deeper level.
Absolutely.
When we give herbs, I mean, I am not a herbalist. You know, I bow to the knowledge and experience of ones such as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there's often ritual around
Of course.
the herb. You know, you don't just give
Absolutely.
some kind of synthetic,
No. you don't.
sanitized
Yeah.
tablet that came out of some plastic thing.
Yes.
You speak to people going and getting herbs, which means it has earth on it.
And even when you go to pick the herb, you know, my brother Rashan says you're supposed to ask the herb
Yes.
to give you.
Yes.
You're not supposed to grab it, yeah? In fact, brother Rashan says that if you do grab it, you actually, what the herb does, it sends all the nutrients down into the roots. So many times when you grab that herb, it's not going to heal you as much as if you actually talk to it and say, can I have some, you know, for healing purpose? The herb will gladly give it to you.
And you see those principles that you're talking about? I mean, many of us know that when you eat meat, the trauma of the animal
Precisely.
is transferred to you because it's
Absolutely.
in the thing. The vibration is in the thing.
Absolutely.
And likewise, one would say, if the earth is bringing forth fruit for our healing, what is wrong with being gracious enough to the earth to give thanks?
Absolutely.
And to the Most High. So when you speak, I'm just glued to I'm just listening to you because it's fulsome healing. It's fulsome information. I feel balanced and encouraged and almost in fighting spirit once I've been given information from you, because I know it is not just about consuming the herb, it is about the practice around the herb that then will extend beyond that, beyond me no longer having symptoms, but the cause. And maybe my vibration will raise, and maybe my relationships will improve, and maybe I can fight the system that's trying to oppress me and demand an apology, a sincere, or stay out of my, the herbs have the things, man. I'm sorry. So when you talked about asthma, I was just linking it to all these other things because, there is no separation.
No, there isn't.
Elder, there is no separation. We need healing.
Yeah, we do.
I give thanks for you
Thank you.
And the Most High. I think I should leave your microphone and your program and allow.
I don't think you should leave. Really.
No.
Bless.
It's coming up.
Give thanks.
Yes. Okay.